that little voice said, maybe, just maybe, you don't have to do it alone. All right, so when I was thinking about this theme and what story I wanted to share with you all tonight about the new chapter, right? So first can be all of these things, but it can also be new beginnings. It can be new chapters. And so that is the story that I want to tell you tonight about this new chapter that I've just entered into today, or this week, at some point, recently. So the story starts about 9 months ago, in October of last year. And I am sitting curled up in the fetal position on my couch. I had just said goodbye to my dear sweet cat Indy, and I was very sad and lonely without him there. I missed him a lot. I had no clients in sight. I had just finished a big client, a storytelling consulting client, and I had no idea what I wanted to do next with my business or how I was going to get paid, make money. And I was just really feeling not great. It was not a great position, fetal position, curled up, cozy blanket. And I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? What the hell is going on here? And so I did what I do in some of those situations. I started perusing my Google Drive. Does anyone else do that? Just me? Weird? Okay, cool. So I was, sometimes over the course of the last 3 years, as I've been building my storytelling consulting business, I've been taking random notes, I've been keeping documents as reference. And so sometimes I just poke through my Google Drive to see what comes up. And on this particular day, curled up there in the fetal position on my couch, I came across a presentation from a class that I had taken 1.5 years earlier, all about building your brand. Now, this presentation was from the week that I had actually missed of that class, so I had never seen this presentation before. But as I clicked into this presentation, it was all about building your brand personality. It was put together by the absolutely fabulous and talented Lola Adewia, the brand doula. I started feeling some creative sparks come back to my body, some things there. And Lola in this presentation talked not just about what your brand is, right? Pretty colors, fonts, logos, but really, what is the impact and the impression you are trying to make with the work that you're doing? And then how do we put that out there in a way that the audience can understand? And as I was sitting there on that couch, totally starting to feel that creative energy coming back into my body, this little voice in the back of deep recesses of my head whispered to me, maybe, just maybe, that thing that you really want to do, that thing about creating spaces for people to share their stories, to come together to explore their personal experiences. Maybe, just maybe, that's possible. But I was feeling really alone, and as a solopreneur, it can be really hard to say, well, it's overwhelming to do it all myself. But looking at Lola's incredible presentation and then clicking through her incredible website about how she works with culture-defining brands, and especially female entrepreneurs and CEOs who are trying to change the world, that little voice said, maybe, just maybe, you don't have to do it alone. And so I very excitedly filled out Lola's new client intake form, and I hit send, whoop, and I got an email back from her the next day. And she said, wow, the synchronicity of you sending me that email is just crazy. Because apparently Lola had also recently been thinking about how to create spaces for people to come together, to work on rebuilding some of our social skills that have atrophied a little in the pandemic, right? And it felt like fate. And so we met up a couple weeks later, and it was very clear we were meant to work together. And I started on this journey officially, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna bet on myself, and I'm gonna bet on this business, and I'm gonna do it. And I'm not gonna do it alone. And so the next couple of months were really amazing. I felt alive back in my body again. And that was also partially helped because around that time I found Dr. Brendan in the Source Chiropractic and started getting incredible adjustments that really helped not just the pain in my body, but start moving the energy through. So between the creative energy flow and the body magic energy flow, I was feeling in the zone. And so even though I spent many nights back on that couch, working on the brand vision interview for Lola and trying to think about, what do I really want to do with this business? What is the impact that I really want to make in this world with my unique talents and skills? And how can we put that together? And it felt like the most creative, juicy, fertile time that I'd had in a really, really, really long time. And it was super exciting. And so things were moving and they were grooving, and we were starting to get some of the copy together for the website, and but it was still in the works. And that's when, where are my creatives at here? I got into the creative pit of despair, right? Like you're working on a project, you feel good, you're like, it's great, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's shit. It is not good. It's super bad, super bad. And I spent back on the couch, fetal position, curled up under my cozy blanket, many long nights spending about 7 hours tweaking one sentence that inevitably got cut from my deck and website. Anyways, just really worrying about all of them out there. Would people understand this? Did this even make sense? What the hell is a storytelling space anyways? And I just was like totally like dead and could not move forward. I felt super stuck. I was like, burn it all down. I'm gonna just go get a job at Trader Joe's or something. But that's when I remembered the little voice was like, you don't have to do it alone. And I realized I have this incredible community of friends and peers and supporters who would be able to help me. So I put out a help to some of my friends, many of whom are here in the room tonight. Maya and Anne, our friend Jess, my amazing coach Natasha. And they helped me work through some of these copy struggles. And obviously Lola also helped hugely as well. And I started to feel, okay, maybe there is something here. Maybe this does make sense more than I want. So cut to a couple weeks later, and I'm back on my beautiful blue couch. And this time, my friend Jessica Monroy is in the room with me. And we are doing a very fun brand photo shoot to try to bring the essence of this storytelling concept to life through beautiful brand photography. And Jess and I had spent many weeks mood boarding and playing dress up and finding all the right fun outfits. And I just felt like such a pretty princess on this day, and totally fun. And it just was amazing to have someone be able to see me and see my essence and so beautifully bring that to life through her art. And it felt like just such a beautiful collaboration that came together. And we also did a really fun photo shoot at Groundfloor, and so I'm deeply grateful for Groundfloor for that as well. And things were starting to move, and yet still that little voice in the back of my head was like, maybe this isn't gonna work. I don't know, maybe it's feels like it's moving in the right direction, but maybe it's not. But I knew that I just needed to power through, and I just needed to get it out. And so I spent many more over the past couple of weeks, many more long nights on my couch up until 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, prepping all of this material, sort of second guessing myself, but just trying to push through, knowing that it will eventually work or not. And either way, I just need to get it out in the world. And so I am super happy to announce that on Tuesday, I set the beautiful new website that Lola and her incredible team, Amber and Christine at the Brand Doula, helped me build. We set it live, and I put it out. And, it was a really exciting moment for a lot of reasons. But mainly because that night, I invited some friends over to sit on my beautiful blue couch and cheers me and celebrate this hard work and this journey that I had been on. Because I knew that I didn't need to do it alone. I didn't do it alone. I did it with this incredible community of people who were there at every step of the way to support me and to collaborate with me. And it was just so beautiful to be surrounded by all of these people that I love in that room, knowing that this is just a turn the page moment in my life. I truly do not know what is going to happen with this website and this business now out in the world. I have some guesses, I have some hopes, but I can't predict what's going to happen. But I do know that whatever happens will be beautiful, and that whatever happens, I will be supported, and I will have collaborators who will help me figure out how to do something cool with this thing. And it's all because I decided to invest in myself, I decided to invest in my community, and I decided to invest in my dreams. And I also decided to invest a lot of hours sitting on my couch. It happens. So my question to you, you don't actually have to answer this right now, but ponder it. What would you want to create in your next chapter? And what or who do you really need to invest in to make that dream a reality? Because it is possible to turn that page into the next chapter that you desire. And so I want to thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart, the cockles of my heart, for being here on these couches tonight, participating in one of these storytelling spaces when probably most of you were like, what the hell is that? You came out anyways. And it just is so beautiful to see you here participating and dreaming and sharing your stories. So this is a new chapter for me. It is a first, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. So that's my first story. Thank you.